Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here, and welcome to Shady Reacts. This is a series where I react to things. So basically what's going on here is a lot of people have been asking me to check out the show, The Dragon Prince. And it also happened in the live stream, just a lot of people were requesting it. So I figured I'd kiss up to you guys and actually show my reactions to the first couple of episodes. I have already seen the first half of the first episode. I saw it a couple weeks back, I think. But I'm going to start from the beginning and then just go on from there on out. Let's go ahead and get everything set up the way that we do here on Shady Reacts. All you new people, there's the opinion bar over there. You might want to pay attention to it. It's a little bit important. When something happens that I like, you will hear this noise. And when something happens that I don't like, you will hear this noise. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so right off the bat, the art style is interesting. I'm not going to say unique. I've seen like cel-shaded art styles before, but it is interesting. It at least stands out a little bit.
In the old times, there were only the 6 primal sources of magic. The sun, the moon, the stars, the earth, the sky, and the ocean.
Wait, how is the sun source different from the star source? Like, because the sun is a star, so is it that... Because you would think that the stars would give the same amount of power, just less than the sun.
But 1,000 years ago, a human mage discovered new magic.
Exactly 1,000 years ago?
Dark magic. It used the essence within magical creatures themselves.
So, wait a second. If it uses magic from other creatures, then isn't it necessarily not a source? I guess technically speaking, because like, you know, these magic creatures, they get their magic from actual sources, but you're getting your magic from them. So aren't you just getting this, technically getting it from their source as well? Well, I guess on a technicality, it is still a different source, because I'm guessing in this show you can't merge the magics. Maybe you can, I don't know. We will see. Oh, okay, so yeah, a dark magic clearly just creates destruction. Like, can you not use dark magic to, like, heal stuff or grow stuff? Like, why does it have to be something evil?
Horrified by what they saw.
Yeah, see, look at that. Like, you can't even pretend that that's a good thing. I guess maybe it's because you're destroying stuff in the process, so it has to be evil. It has to do evil stuff.
Horrified by what they saw, the elves and the dragons put a stop to the madness.
Okay, so we've got elves and dragons. Those, which is which? Those two are clearly related to each other. The ones wearing the gold with the dark skin. And but they all have horns. I was gonna say, oh, the blue ones are clearly the dragons because they've got horns. But they all have horns and they all have pointy ears. So maybe they're all elves. Like, they're not actually dragons. Because we've seen a dragon. I'm just thinking, like in D&D, dragons can probably polymorph. So I was just guessing that one of these races was dragons, the other ones was oh, wait a second. I know this. These must be elves, I think. Because I've seen, like I said, I've seen some of this episode before. The night elves show up, or the moon elves or whatever. And those, I think, are the ones in the back there, the moon elves. And I guess these ones in the front are the sun elves, because she has like this sun staff here. Okay, so I'm guessing these are elves. Watch, I'd be completely wrong.
They drove every last human to the west.
Wait a second. Why every human? Why every... Because, okay, so they said like... Didn't they say one guy started the dark magic thing? Did all the humans just join up in this dark magic? I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense because humans in these mythical lores tend not to be magical creatures. So they have to access magic some way. And I guess the only way in this show is dark magic. That seems to come out of nowhere. Just, you know what? One guy did something wrong. Let's banish everyone. That is kind of typical in fantasy settings, though, when you have multiple different races, that humans tend to be like the disappointing race, because you know what to expect from elves. They tend to be very high societal, very feminine, and you know what to expect from like dwarves. They tend to be very masculine, very within their own dwelling. And then humans have this high potential for good, but also this high potential for destruction. So they tend to be the race that everybody's like, oh, geez, the humans are here.
And so the continent was divided in two. In the east, the magical lands of Zadia, and in the west, the human kingdoms.
Wait a second. So the east, he said the east is the magical lands, and the west is the humans. So there's nothing magical in the west. Like, there's just nothing. So did the humans doing dark magic, like, just strip the land of magic completely? Was it born without magic? Okay, I'm asking a lot of questions, because that's how reaction videos work. If this is going to be revealed to me later, please don't answer it, okay? I don't want any spoilers. But that's just interesting to me that they're trying to take the humans away from magic. So they push them all in a specific half of the country, of the land. It's not certain sectors, like you have to remain within non-magical sectors. It's an entire half of this continent. Also, the east is called Zadia, which I'm guessing is not a race. It's actually a land. And then the west is just called the human land, or whatever he said. Okay. Why didn't they get their own name? Very creative there.
For centuries, the king of the dragons himself defended the border.
Choclatanda! Was that Zuko? I'm pretty sure I just saw Zuko run across the screen. Hold up. That looks like Zuko. That right there looks like Zuko. All right, so who we got? We got what I'm guessing are sun elves over here on the right. You look like you have a crescent staff, so I think you're moon. You have wings, so sky. You also have crescent. So are both of you moon? This one is shiny. Are you an earth? Because you use a lot of metal? Okay. Well, I don't see any ocean or stars. Maybe this one over here is stars, since she doesn't have a sun staff. But she has a lot of sun stuff on her.
The humans called him Thunder.
How original.
For when he spoke, his voice shook the earth.
Why wouldn't you call him Earthquake then?
And the sky.
Oh, and the sky. Okay, I should have paid attention. I should have waited for him to finish his sentence.
On the eve of last winter's turn.
Hold on. Is winter's turn a day? Because if winter's turn is saying when it turns to winter, that's called fall. You don't need to say the eve of last winter's turn. You would just call it fall.
Humans used unspeakable dark magic to slay Thunder. Then, without mercy, they destroyed his only egg, his heir, the Dragon Prince.
I'm going to press a big X to doubt on that, considering the series is called The Dragon Prince. I'm guessing somebody didn't actually destroy that egg. I'm seeing this the black kid that's in this. I see him a lot. I'm guessing he's gonna be the Dragon Prince.
Now the world stands on the edge of all-out war.
Okay, so I was asked during the last live stream, like, what attracts you to a story? I'm gonna say All of this right here is what generally attracts me to a story. Now, it doesn't mean these are the only kinds of story I'm interested in, but you give me either a high fantasy or a science fiction setting. Give me that. Clearly establish history and rules. This has done that. It's got the rules. There are 6 main sources of magic, and then there's the 7th one, which is evil. The 7th one is used primarily by humans. It was invented by such and such, and because of that, the humans were banished, and the other magical people don't like the humans. It's basically they're on the brink of war. So humans are basically incapable of magic, from what I'm seeing, while everyone else draws from a natural source of magic. I like that. I can, the series goes on, knowing these rules, I can learn more about the world and ask questions about the world. Book 1, Moon, Chapter 1, Echoes of Thunder. Okay, so are there going to be 7 books? Like, is this going to be like Avatar? Well, Avatar only had 3 because we didn't have a book heir. But is it going to be like Avatar, where each book is an element of the magic? That's the black kid I see every time I see this thing being advertised. So I'm wondering if he's the Dragon Prince.
Take that, marshmallow monster!
So this, okay, so the white kid is drawing dragons roasting a marshmallow. I'm probably gonna look way too into this, but it would seem to me like the humans would be enemies to everything else that's magical. You would think he would draw something slaying the dragon rather than the dragon slaying something else. Again, that's me probably looking way too into that.
Declare yourself in the name of King Harrow.
Well, time to go. So did she know him? I'm pretty sure they're going to reveal all this, but just thinking out loud, did she know him? Because she was ready to kill. She had no emotion on her face until she looked at him. Or was he just sexy? Like, is that what happened? He was just sexy, and she was like, oh, geez, I might have use for that later. Because you're in the middle of a freaking war. Why are you not killing this dude? He is your enemy, I'm pretty sure. What is that crest on his chest? It's the only purple thing he has on, and they've shown that dark magic tends to be the color purple. Is that going to be the source of his magic? He also has a staff. Okay, maybe the staff is the source of his magic. That would make a bit more classic sense.
Well, don't look so grim. We fought off plenty of assassins, haven't we, Pip?
It's different this time. We believe they're moon shadow elves.
Moon shadow elves? Why would they not be moonlight elves? Well, okay, so they've shown that they're like ninjas. So I guess they get their power from the moon, but they move in the shadows. Okay, that makes sense.
Moon shadow elves? Then how did the scout escape?
I don't know. It was muddy, wet, dark. Somehow he got very lucky.
I love in a war setting or in a fighting setting where they establish that a certain type of warrior or race or whatever is like extremely strong. Like you see them and you know you're pretty much going to die. I like when settings do that.
Then we won't defend. We will attack. We must find them today in the light of the sun and stop them before it's too late.
See, this is why you should have killed the dude, girl moon shadow elf. Because now he went back and informed them. Now they're going to be able to prematurely attack your people. And your people are going to be in danger because you didn't do the one job you had. You have to wonder how much of that is necessary. Ooh, let's look at her design. I am assuming that this is a girl. Yeah, the figure is right. I'm pretty sure that's a girl. But it's elves, so it's difficult to tell. The whole mythos of elves is that they're all very feminine looking. But let's look at this design. I like the colors. So she's got short sleeves. Yeah, they're clearly going for a ninja vibe here. That outfit is extremely tight on her body. dual blades that I don't know what weapons are called. I'm just there's two of them, so I'm calling them dual blades. She's got horns. She's got makeup under her eyes. Now, was she born with that, or is that what kind of marking does that represent? Belts, I guess, to hold her sword. That guy who was carrying a staff, he was carrying it but I don't think he needed it like a cane. He should get a holster or something.
Well done, Rayla.
Yeah, I used both of them.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's a girl. But not only did you fail at the one job you were supposed to do, not only did you let yourself fail at the one job you're supposed to do, you're not going to tell this military operation that you failed. Your team is going to get slaughtered because of what you're doing. What's her name? Rayla? But at the same time, she's talking a little bit awkward, so that makes her likable. That face she was walking. Okay, so I think I'm seeing the differences between the boys and the girls. All right, the guys have much more square chins, while the girls have more pointed chins. Okay, that's a good way to tell them apart.
Wait. Shh.
Ooh, the frame rate is showing on this part. Yeah, the frame rate is really showing on this part. I don't like that. Get those in-betweens in there.
Prince Ezrin! I caught you!
I was just admiring them.
This feels very hero's journey-ish. You have this history of violence. You have this kid. He's living a normal kid life, despite the fact that he's a prince. You have these kids, plural. Despite the fact that they're a prince, they're living a normal kid's life. I haven't memorized his name yet, but this black kid, he's actually stealing pastries and whatnot. So, is there going to be a call to action? Is their dad going to die? Is that what's going to happen?
Harry, dead.
Really? Are you sure? Even if I was wearing armor?
Even if you were wearing the rarest legendary armor forged by Sunfire Elves, super dead.
We just learned lore through dialogue. Armor by Sunfire Elves. Sunfire Elves are good at making armor. You would think Earth creatures would be good at making armor. Because again, metal, Earth. And Earth itself is generally known as a defensive element in a lot of fantasy.
I'm terrible at this.
Yeah, but you have to practice anyway, because that's what's expected of a prince. Or a step prince, actually.
What?
What?
Okay, why did you throw that comment out there? Are you salty about something? Like, what was the point of that comment? Oh, it was exposition. Oh, all right. Love amongst the dragons. Do you think she's going to be a dragon apologist?
Hey, your sister. She's gonna walk right into that Claudia!
Okay, bit of a nitpick here. Dude said, hey, your sister, she's going to walk into that. And then afterwards, he yelled her name. Naturally, people would have said, your sister. They would have said, hey, Claudia's going to walk into that. They had to deliver some exposition that those two are related.
Relatively new. It's only been there for 300 years.
When they're not in the foreground, they kind of move like puppets.
Can we try again? I think I can do it now.
Through the power of impressing a girl. By the way, they should keep this going. This is really good when you show the characters training and they suck at first, and then throughout the series they gradually get better. That's how you do training montages or training in general. They did this in Troll Hunters, where the protagonist, he sucked the first episode, and throughout each episode they showed him training, and then it gets to the point where when you see them doing these unrealistic, awesome fighting moves, like, you believe it because you've seen the training they've endured. So keep doing this.
Oh. I see what's going on here. Don't worry. I'll help. Oh, I am stabbed! Oh, by the Stab Prince! Lord Stabbington!
It's a nice guy, at least.
Prince Callum, the king needs to speak with you urgently.
Okay, that's fine, but can you look at me while you're talking? Where are her eyes pointed at? Is she blind? It just dawned on me, the white kid is the step prince, so maybe he's the dragon prince.
We have visitors from Zadia. Unwanted visitors.
What are they, minstrels or something?
Assassins.
I know.
He's telling both of them they must be important, like extremely important. He's clearly a warrior. What is she, a sorcerer?
They've set up a secret camp somewhere near the base of the cliffs. Soren, you will lead an attack.
Lead an attack? Is he like captain of a guard or something? How young is he that he's a captain of a guard? This is fantasy. They love to throw really young people into the front lines. Don't. Just suspend your disbelief.
These assassins are moon shadow elves. They draw power from the moon.
Yes, I know what moon shadow elves are.
They'll be unstoppable.
Well, I'm gonna find a way to stop them. After all, unstoppable is just another kind of stoppable.
No, that's not really right.
Yeah, it made more sense in my head.
Thank you for calling that out. Thank you. I was about to have a fit. Well, they got these characters are characters. You know, they're people. They have their own sense of humor and their own awkward moments. So that's good.
4 full moons passed on the eve of the winter's turn.
Okay, that made me a little upset, but they are moon shadow elves. It kind of makes sense that they would use the moon to tell time than anything else.
They destroyed his only egg, the Dragon Prince. Tonight, we bind our lives to justice.
I thought he was starting to dance. He moved his arms like that. Tonight, like I thought he was getting ready to do something.
My breath for freedom.
My eyes for truth.
My strength for honor. My blood for justice.
My heart for Zadia.
Was that a Scottish accent I just heard? Are they all Scottish? Oh my goodness. Oh, Scottish, British, and Irish accents I have a weakness for. This character might just be my favorite character for biased reasons.
Moon reflects sun, as death reflects life.
The moon, like, wait, how I get compared to death? Like, I didn't do nothing. Yeah, I reflect the sun, but you just gonna compare me to death.
Runan,
What is it, Rayla?
I was wondering, what if they know we're coming?
That is a Scottish accent. Oh, I am doomed.
Ezrin, you don't get it, do you? Why do you think they're sending us away? Because they're coming to kill him.
Good job. Just good job, you freaking brat. Oh, they just really made me not like this. I mean, he's a 15-year-old, 14-year-old kid, something like that. But goodness gracious. Oh, that annoyed me so much. I saw exactly where that was headed. It's like, I'm angry and you're not because you're an innocent child. So I'm going to immediately take away your innocence right now. Oh, that just made me not like him. Okay, you deserve to be the captain of the guard. You were brave enough to reach in and pick that thing up. Ah!
Nothing. Surprising no one, a magic moth is just as worthless as a regular moth.
Alright, so this guy is not a big magic guy. Like, you get that vibe from him. Ooh, that's the same guy from before. Oh, she's gonna get in trouble. And she deserves it. She deserves to get in trouble. Like, I freaking love her character because she's got a Scottish accent, but she deserves to get in trouble.
You lied to me.
What was that writing? He didn't say, you deceived us, or you deceiver, or something like that. He says, like a dude throwing a tantrum, you lied to me. And technically she didn't lie. She didn't say anything. She just said she used both blades. That was true. Lie by omission, but still.
The human, he looked up at me and I saw the fear in his eyes.
Of course he was afraid, but you had a job to do.
I'm not mad at him. He's right.
He didn't do anything to me. How could I take his life?
Because he was about to do something to you. You're at war. Do you not know that? He's a scout. He was returning to inform them. And look what happened. Like, how is this not a soldier? They've given her these really big, soppy anime eyes. And it's like, it's working. I mean, her Scottish accent I've already forgiven her. She has a Scottish accent. It's like, no harm done.
You let him live, but you've killed us all.
Alright, so that's the end of the first episode, and so far I'm very intrigued. I like the slow, semi-fast pace of it. Like, they have they've gone into the action a bit fast, but not too fast. Because what this could have been was just the first episode of establishing that this is a peaceful environment. And then they could have left off on a cliffhanger showing that the moon elves, the moon shadow elves were attacking. They could have gone that route, and that would have, anybody who's just trying to watch one episode, that would have hooked them. But they decided to actually show the moon shadow elves at the beginning and kind of get you invested in them a little bit, because this female character is, she's going to be pretty important. They're giving her a lot of screen time. So far, I'm pretty much loving it. There's no character I hate. The older white step prince, he made me upset, but he didn't do anything that was like a bad character or anything. It was just annoying what he did. Everyone else seems to be playing an interesting role. A bit basic, but it takes a couple episodes to get these things going. A lot of times it takes a whole season to get these things going. So far, my favorite character is the moon shadow elf, the girl, mainly because Scottish accent, that I'm not even denying. I'm completely biased on that. But also because she just poses, she just seems like she's going to be interesting. She's in a league of assassins, but she can't bring herself to kill. Not the most unique concept in the world. I'm wondering how she got to that point. How she got to the point where she's going out on a mission that involves killing people, but she can't kill someone because he looks scared. So we'll have to learn more about her. The other character that interests me are the brother and sister. Those two interest me. The brother seems pretty basic, but I think he's going to be able to play off the other characters really well. Hopefully he doesn't die, because I think he will be able to play off them really well. And the sister seems like she's going to have, she's got a good sense of humor about her. She almost walked into a tree and said, "Oh, is that new?" And then she goes off confidently, like, unstoppable is just another form of stoppable. And it's like, no, that's completely wrong. So I'm looking forward to them. So I'm going to go ahead and watch the second episode now.
Previously on The Dragon Prince.
Tonight, we bind our lives to justice.
Okay, I forgot to mention those bands. Like, clearly they were doing something magical. And he said, we bind our lives to justice. So does that mean if they fail, they're going to die? Because I completely brushed over that. The first, this is a very magical setting, and they haven't gone a lot into the magic yet. I'm actually appreciative of that. Like, it should be a slow introduction to the magic. They've shown two spells. One of them we don't know what it does, the binding, and then the other one cloaked them and turned them into trees. So I'm hoping each section of magic has a certain theme to it. Like, I hope the moon shadow elves are all about stealth and deception and whatnot. Like rogues, basically. I do like how the map has that clear wall and then it burns apart, bit of a metaphor for how the country is divided. A pretty on-the-nose metaphor, but... They're poisoning their blades, they're not using a lot of armor, they're using very quick and rapid movements. These are rogues. These are basically rogues.
Hey, could I borrow your sharpener thingy?
Why do people do that? Why do they say the name of the item and then say thingy afterwards? People do that all the time, and it drives me nuts. It's like, you said the name of the item. You didn't have to add an extra word after it. Sharpener thingy. Why don't you just say, can I borrow your sharpener?
Whetstone.
Yeah, that.
No.
Oh, because it wasn't called a sharpener. It was called a whetstone. I know what I'm talking about, guys.
Come with me.
Oh, I like how her blade folds in. That was cool.
Ezrin, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said. I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. Come on, later you can call me a jerkface, and I'll do the crazy jerkface dance for you.
He's probably the most bland character so far. He's not bad. He hasn't had time to develop, but he just seems generic teenage boy of all the other characters. He seems to be the protagonist, that the step prince. So maybe he is going to be the dragon prince. I was completely wrong about the little black boy.
I thought you could do it, Rayla,
But I was wrong.
You're not wrong. I can do it.
No, you've clearly shown that you can't. You can't.
I know you've never taken before. I brought you because you're talented, maybe the fastest and strongest of any of us.
Okay, so we've got one of those, you're super young, but you're super talented. You're better than the rest of us. These stories, this kind of stuff can get annoying to me when they make somebody super young just better than even the experts. But it depends on how they handle it. Like Avatar, I think, did most of it pretty well. I think they went too far with Katara. Katara didn't make sense to me, but to me, Toph and Aang made complete sense why, and Azula, it made sense why, even though they were so young, they were super talented. She is making just the most adorable pouty face right there.
But it takes more than that. There's an instinct, a moment of truth, and in that moment, you hesitate.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
You will wait here quietly. If we're not back by sunrise, go home.
You gonna rebel? You gonna rebel? Are you gonna rebel? I think you might rebel. I think she's gonna rebel. Pretty sure she's gonna rebel.
I can fix this.
Oh my goodness, she rebelled! Who saw that coming? She does a lot of unnecessary ninja moves, and I'm not mad at them for doing it because it does look cool. It's Tom Riddle. Run!
It's so amazing that you can do things like that.
Nah, it's just a simple wind breath rune. Aspero!
She's got this storm ball thing, and it's purple, so I'm guessing it's dark magic. Okay, so the humans are just freaking evil, but they act good. It's interesting. They have this good atmosphere about them, but they can still use magic, so that leads me to believe that it must be dark magic because humans don't have access to magic. So they're acting like there's nothing wrong with that so far.
See this? It's a primal stone. It uses magical energy from one of the 6 primal sources.
So that uses magical energy from one of the 6 primal sources. Obviously, Sky. How did you get it? See, this is what I'm talking about. If this is dark magic, I don't know that this is dark magic. It just seems like it is because A, it's purple, and B, it's being used by a human, and I just didn't think they had access. But if this is dark magic, like, it's still using from a source. So why would dark magic be considered its own source?
You're so lucky you get to learn magic.
Well, you get to learn sword fighting.
I'd switch places in a second.
That right there, I like that. She has a character. It's really there.
not understand girls.
That's because you only know one of them.
Call it what it is. Dark magic.
Yes.
I've spent years going along with these creative solutions, and where has it gotten me?
I don't understand.
I know you don't. Leave me.
So the king's actually a good guy. He doesn't feel good about doing dark magic, but he feels it's necessary for what's going on. So that way when he dies, we will feel bad about it. She has just risen. And until I hear the elf girl speak again, this girl is now my favorite character. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Prince Callum.
Ow! Of course we're both here. Why wouldn't we be?
That's Sokka? I just realized that he sounds a lot like Sokka. Okay, so I really like Claudia's personality, but Dark Moon Shadow Elf girl, has a Scottish accent and is essentially a rogue ninja thing. Favorite character. Oh, okay, I see how those blades work. So they fold out, but they don't become a specific shape. You can change the kind of shape they become. So before she had these slicing things for slicing his neck. Now they're hooks. I guess they bend certain ways depending on how you extend them. I was wondering why they didn't just give her like straight swords, like why there were all these machinations within the swords. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so they're doing this character, I feel, right. You know, they said she's super talented, but they're not making her Mary Sue. You know, she really struggled to get up that cliff, or she's struggling to get up that cliff. Yeah, she could still be a Mary Sue, but let's just hope they don't go that route.
War is full of uncertainty.
Why can't you do something about it? Can't you just make peace with them?
It's not that simple.
It seems pretty simple to me.
Okay, I am freaking sure that is Sokka. How did I not recognize that? I need to look up that voice actor later, because he sounds... I just closed my eyes. He sounds just like Sokka.
I am responsible for some of those wrongs. I've done terrible things. I thought they were necessary. Now I don't know.
I immediately want to know, like, a series on the King. I want a series on the King. His character is completely intact, and it's only the second episode. Like, I just picture this guy who is... He wants to do right, and he thinks you have to do a little bit wrong to do it. But looking back, he regrets so much of it. Like, I'm down with this King.
But you're the king. You can do anything.
The great illusion of childhood is that adults have all the power and freedom, but the truth is the opposite. A child is freer than a king.
This is good writing. That was a good line right there. That King's entire dialogue was really well written. She's attacking when the moon isn't up. Her power is not going to be very good.
Ez? Is that you? Hello?
Okay, that caught me.
You're not who I thought. You're one of those with the pointy...
Oh, you don't like my ears.
First words out of his mouth. So racist comment. Hey, you're supposed to be a moon shadow elf?
That's far enough. I'm looking for someone.
Her accent is dropping out. Keep the accent.
Did you check back there?
Really? You fell for that? You're supposed to be be an elite warrior?
Hey, you swept the leg.
What?
Nothing.
All right, well, they're obviously going to be friends.
Humans cut down the king of the dragons and destroyed his only egg, the dragon prince. Justice will not be denied.
Not justice, that's revenge, but okay.
Well then, you found me. I am Prince Ezrin.
You just earned some serious brownie points. Good character on you.
Moonshadow elves are dangerous elite fighters. Under a full moon, they become nearly invisible, and they can penetrate any defense. Nothing in the 5 kingdoms can stop them.
5 kingdoms? There's only 5 kingdoms? There are 7 sources of magic. Or are you talking about 5 kingdoms of humans?
Not helping, Viren.
But it doesn't have to be.
You too close, your breath stank.
I don't want to, but I have to.
Why? You know this is wrong.
An assassin doesn't decide right and wrong, only life and death.
That is a good point.
Humans attacked us unprovoked.
So it's okay for you to do the same thing?
Well, no. It's not the same thing, because we're attacking you provoked.
That was a good line. That was a good line. I like that. Oh, that was good. That was good.
200 men and women are ready to fall protecting you tonight. But you won't let one soldier sacrifice their life for you.
It's not the same. I would rather die a king than live as a coward.
He's got so many good lines. I mean, I feel like I've heard that one before, but they're doing really well with the execution of his lines.
No, I already told you the problem. It's dark magic.
Yes, it is. It's clever, it's brilliant, it's practical. It will save your life and many, many others.
It's a shortcut. We may not pay now, but we will pay the blood price eventually.
They both have legit sides, and I like that. You know, clearly we're like, what's his name, Viren, I think, is like supposed to be in the wrong, but the show is not really presenting him as being in the wrong. He has legit reasons to want to use dark magic. And the king is right. Like every time, well, I don't know the whole history, but I'm presuming every time they've used it, like something happens that makes them have to pay the price. Like, I like that this is a legit conflict. Like, I can't just say, oh, king, you're being stupid, or oh, other guy, you're being short-sighted. Like, they both have legit viewpoints.
Destroying that egg saved our kingdom. Maybe all of humanity.
It was an egg!
And it would have become the most powerful creature in the world.
We are really seeing 2 ideologies butt heads here. Like, ideology might be the wrong term, but just 2 core ideas and lifestyles butting heads. This guy was willing to kill what was essentially a child to ensure the safety of future humans. Not even the safety, but rather the progress. He's saying safety, but the humans would have been fine if they just stayed in their spot. They were trying to access magic.
You don't feel right trading your life for another's, but know this. Every one of these men and women would gladly trade their life to save yours.
I like those looks. Like, I didn't say that, but okay.
Would you, Viren?
I was thinking that. I was like, why don't you make Viren do it? That would be a bad tactical decision because, you know, he's a genius at, I'm guessing he's a genius at magic. But it's like, Viren's giving this grand speech. He should be the one doing it.
Get out.
Wow. That was good. That was good. That was good execution. He didn't, I like how they did that. He didn't actually answer. He didn't, give a bunch of excuses. Like, if I was writing this, I would have written that he gave a bunch of excuses. Like, well, I shouldn't have to, but, that was good.
You're only making this worse!
In moments like these, there's a bit of a disconnect from the characters to the background. I did not feel like those characters were actually running through that hall.
Rock, stone, rock,
Wait, what's
stone,
the difference between
stone.
the rocks and the stones?
Ugh, you made me do stone instead of rock.
Stupid. How does he know all this? How do you figure this out?
Yes!
You're sure she won't be able to follow us?
No way. It took me over a month to figure out that combination.
I saw the obvious joke, but I was like, I was thinking in my head, there's no way she could figure out that combination, except he was saying it out loud.
How did you?
I just pressed all the stones with the jelly handprints.
Oh, okay. I saw him leave the handprint on the painting, and I was like, that's foreshadowing for something. And then it just kind of escaped my mind. Okay, all right. I mean, she still couldn't have known what order it was in, but, you know.
I can hear something inside. Something alive.
It can't be.
The egg. It wasn't destroyed.
Okay, in my mind, there was a possibility that maybe neither of them was the Dragon Prince. Maybe this was a quest about the Dragon Prince. But I didn't think they had the egg. One of them could still be the Dragon Prince. Like, this could be a red herring, but I didn't expect that to be there. I did not expect to see that egg. But this makes Viren's whole mentality, though, just completely false, because he didn't kill the egg, he didn't smash it, he took it for power. So Villain's become a bit more villain twirly mustachy kind of guy. Mustache twirly villain kind of guy. Woo! And what a place to end off on. Okay, so I'm pretty much hooked. Yeah, I really, really want to see where this goes. And I'm considering doing an episode rundown. But I want to know what you guys think, because if I do an episode rundown, that means that I can't really do analysis on this show. And I know most people come to this channel for the analysis, the literature analysis. If I do episode rundowns, I have to do them one at a time. And it'll take me a while to get through the show. But basically, if you've never seen my Miraculous series, what an episode rundown is I watch an episode and then I come back and I just talk about it. Just talk about it from my perspective, whether I liked it or not. And there could always be analysis later after they're done. After I get through like a season or something, or even if there's a episode with a poignant point, I can get through it. But I'm getting kind of ahead. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do an episode rundown. Because if I don't do an episode rundown, then I can on my own watch all the episodes, get through them all rather quickly. And if there's something to analyze, then I can make a video about it. But it feels kind of cliffhanger to leave it off there. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself because I haven't even talked about the show. This is, you guys, man, this is fantastic. This is an amazing show so far. I'm not gonna say it's like perfect or anything, but you know, I've seen issues here and there, but I'm really liking the characters. You know, the dark elf girl and the sorcerer girl, they have so much personality. The king has a great, like, he's supposed to be this paragon character, but at the same time, he's clearly done things in his past that he's not proud of. And I like how his ideas collide with his assistant guys. And the dragon egg being revealed there, that was a great cliffhanger. That's how you get somebody hooked into a show right there. Again, the first episode, so I was saying, you know, I kind of liked how the action was built up a little bit. Thinking back on it, I probably would have, in the first episode, said what I would have done before. I would establish this nice life, establish the world history, and then at the end, cliffhanger the Shadow Elves. And then kind of led into her letting him get away, but that would have been an extra episode completely. I would have started episode 1 differently. This episode that I just left off on, which was episode 2, that would have been episode 3. Episode 1 would have been establishing the nice environment. Episode 2 would have been episode 1, and then episode 3 would have been this episode. But I'm loving the lore. I love the 6 sources of magic, and then there's the 7th darkness. It's still really weird that sun and stars are 2 different things, but I'm sure they'll well, I don't think they'll explain it, but they'll make it so that I can suspend my disbelief. It's not suspending my disbelief because it's not based off of reality. It's its own fiction. But the animation is... I think the animation itself is good until it gets to those choppy frame rate parts. The style I'm fine with. It's not that stylistic. I've seen similar styles before, but I'd rather it be this than a standard 2D animation, or even like a realistic 3D animation. I'm fine with the cell shading. I think it gives the world a bit more feel to it. But so far, I would give the show, because of the first 2 episodes, you got to take some leeway. I would give it an A to an A-. It has me hooked personally. This is the kind of stuff that I personally like. So it definitely has me hooked. But if it was just if it was a subject that I personally didn't like, I would still say it's doing its job really well. Mainly because I nothing in this seems black and white. And I like it when stuff isn't real. I do like black and white sometimes, the traditional hero versus the traditional villain. But a lot of this is debating stuff. Some of the writing is kind of, too on the nose. Oh, hello, sister. I really can't stand when they call somebody by their family name. Sister, brother, cousin. It's like, if you know their name, normally you would say their name. Sometimes you do call, like, sometimes I call my sister, but it's usually as a joke or something. But other times the writing is really good. A lot of the stuff the king says, it flows really well. Like, I could make a poster off of those quotes, or a t-shirt off of those quotes. And I love that when he asked the guy, would he sacrifice his life? The guy hesitated, and that was enough for the king to be disgusted at what he saw. So overall, great recommendation, guys. This, along with the Gretzko, you guys are really recommending some good stuff. I know Big Mouth was more of a joke than anything, but well, just let me know if you want me to do episode rundowns, or if you would rather I just watch all the episodes and then, if there's an analysis, do an analysis on them. But you can let me know in the comments. But anyway, this was fun. This was really fun. I highly enjoyed doing this, and I will see you guys in whatever video I make next. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. Farewell. Ad Vidasen. Goodbye.